All right, let's do an update on our indoor grow shelves. This is so awesome. We're growing food in our house inside the middle of winter. It's almost Christmas, and take a look at this. Holy cow, folks. Hundreds of blooms on these tomato plants. Hundreds. This is a yellow cherry tomato, a tiny Tim dwarf tomato, a yellow version of this. I have never seen anything like this. On our other shelves next door, these are lemon spinach plants. These are 2 years old. We are harvesting these every week for the past 2 years. I mean, talk about this, folks. Mind-blowing. We are eating salads weekly from this same patch for 2 years. It doesn't go to seed, a perennial. Take a look at our indoor grow museum. 2 thumbs up. Tomatoes, greens, salads, you can eat out of your home with just some grow lights. Here's the beginnings. Okay, to start this out, and this is a month ago, we started these tomato seeds inside this pot. We made this little grow dome. Now you can do the same thing with figs and pomegranate cuttings. The same setup, put it in a pot, put a sandwich bag around it, and these things will root. It is so easy to start your own pomegranates and figs indoors. Back to tomatoes, these sprouted really well, and you can see the little cherry tomato I saved seeds from. Now we are just poking them into these pots. It is so simple, guys. Poke them into the pots, and growing indoors is great. No weeds, just water, a little bit of fertilizer, and we're going to talk about easy pest control. There's an easy way to keep pests from attacking your plants inside. This works great. Stay tuned in this video. Okay, so as we're poking these in, we're going to have about 225 of these tomato plants growing in our house. So another little trick we're going to do is we have tin foil on the sides of these grow domes. These are acting like windows. We're going to pull them up and pull them down. When we pull them down and the grow lights come on, it actually heats inside of these domes. So it actually makes it so we can turn our furnace down in the house, use less gas, and it keeps that bill lower, while the tin foil radiates the heat with the grow lights and it heats our house. This is really neat. So a couple of other tricks is I like to use a real high quality potting soil. If you use a lower quality soil, sometimes you'll see the little fungus gnats. They're like fruit flies and we do not want them. Another trick is I water from the bottoms of the pans. I fill them up with water about 1 inch deep, and that soaks into the pots from the bottom up. It keeps the top part of the pots dry, and that keeps the fungus gnats away. The fungus gnats like to come when the top parts of the pots are wet. So when people water from the top down, that's where you get all the fungus gnats. Watering from the bottom up, you don't have that problem. So there's a big trick that I just taught everybody there. Another really great thing about watering the pans from the bottom is I can mix a little bit of liquid fertilizer in. I can use organic fertilizer, and I really like the fish emulsion for organic. Or I can use some Miracle-Gro tomato food and mix a little bit of that at the bottom of the pan when I water, and then the pots will soak that up to the plant, and they will just thrive. Now, another thing is we want to keep our furnace set pretty low, probably in the low 60s. Like I said before, the tin foil is actually going to help heat the house. Keeping the thermostat set lower is going to keep the aphids from coming in. We do not want aphids. We also don't want to over-fertilize. We just put a little bit of fertilizer in with our watering cans. That amount of fertilizer will keep the plants not growing too fast, and plants not growing so fast won't attract the aphids. Now, what we just plugged in there was the ultrasonic pest control. That actually keeps the bugs out. This works really good when you've had it plugged in for a year's time. This ultrasonic pest control worked pretty good when we first plugged it in, but having it left in the wall for a year, I don't see any bugs, no aphids or anything. Now, just to begin the process of this, we are actually watering the pots from the top. This is the only time we're going to do this because we want to keep the fungus gnats away. But these are little baby plants, and they will need to be watered from the top down because they don't have the root system to draw that water in from the bottom. There's the tin foil that we're going to pull down, and when we pull this down, it gives an extra 10 degrees of heat. I can have the thermostat set at 63 degrees, and inside these grow domes, it's 75 with the tin foil down. Okay, so we're going to give these plants a nice soaking of water. This is really important right now. We're actually going to keep the lights off for a couple days. At this point, with the little baby plants, we're going to keep the thermostat set pretty warm because these little plants are really tender. They need just the most perfect conditions to thrive. Keep the lights off so they can get a nice little root system before we throw those lights on. And expect them to grow. So here's a little bit of Miracle Grow we're going to mix in to begin with. These tomatoes are incredibly productive. They're a dwarf tomato related to the tiny Tim, a yellow version of it, and they're incredibly productive for our winter production. Over 270 plants. We can't wait to bring you along and show you the harvest all winter long. Okay, so we're gonna let these sit for a couple days and then we're gonna turn the lights on. In that couple days time, these little plants are gonna have a real nice root system. They're gonna soak in that Miracle Grow and they're just gonna take off like you saw at the first of the video. The results are amazing. The ultrasonic pest control can be found on Amazon. That'll help you out a lot. I really like these Mars Hydro Grow Lights. They have the different colors that you need to grow fruiting plants. So Walmart grow lights will not do this. They will not produce very good fruit on the plants. They're fine for greens, but not for things like strawberries and tomatoes. So a couple of weeks later, these plants are really taking off and growing, and there's no aphids on them. That is the most amazing part. That ultrasonic pest control is doing great. We're gonna shake the plants to pollinate them. Now to help in this process, we have a fan on, as you can see. Blows the air, keeps the condensation low in the house, keeps mold from forming. We have that fan, we have another fan going,